From the Berkshires to the Sound, from wherever you live in MLB America, this is Inside the Parker. You give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the scoop on Major League Baseball. Now, here's Baseball Hall of Fame voter number 57.
You have another hot take.
Will not NOT make the playoffs.
Shohei me the money.
Rob Parker.
Come on! I've been covering Major League Baseball for almost 40 years now. In New York, in Cincinnati, in Detroit, in LA. I love this game. Let's go! Welcome into the podcast, and I'm your host, Rob Parker. And what a show we have for you today. Before we even get started, remember, press this button, the subscribe button, so that you're always here, always up to date with all the best coverage of Major League Baseball. As you know, I've been covering baseball since 1986. I love the sport. This is the place for your baseball fix. Welcome into the podcast. I'm your host, Rob Parker, and what a show we have for you today. Coming up, we're going to talk with Atlanta Braves center fielder Michael Harris II. Also, Cincinnati Reds beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer, Gordon Wittenmyer, he drops by, plus foul or fair. Let's go.
Batter up. To lead off, it's getting robbed.
And keep him up.
Rob's hot take on the three biggest stories in Major League Baseball. Number one.
The Los Angeles Dodgers, oh my goodness, are they going to go 162-0? They're off to an 8-0 start, had no business winning Wednesday night, down 5-0 early, and somehow, some way they win it. Of course, Shohei Ohtani with the walk-off home run in the ninth to stun the Atlanta Braves. It's the Dodgers' best start since 1955. Double nickels has been a long time. And here's the other part. No defending World Series champ has ever started the next season 8-0. So again, the Dodgers off, everything's clicking. And this is amazing when you think where Mookie Betts was and the big home runs he's come up with since not feeling well in Japan and not playing. And he's been big. Shohei, a big night Wednesday night, batting over 300 now, 333, 3 home runs, all solo. So there's a lot of stuff to like here. Obviously, the Dodgers are not going to be judged on wins. We saw the Seattle Mariners win 116 games in a regular season and come up without a World Series. This will be about a World Series for the Dodgers. Anybody who tells you that it's not so is not being honest with you, especially since no team has won back-to-back World Series since the Yankees did it in 2000, and no one in the National League has done it. Win back-to-back fall classics since the 1975-76 Reds. So far, so good for the Dodgers. They are, as advertised, 8-0 going into Thursday night's action.
Number two.
Enough already with the torpedo bats. Can we stop this? First of all, they've been around for a while. Number two, don't make you a home run hitter. Whoever's peddling that bill of goods is doing you a disservice and telling you that information. And we saw Ellie De La Cruz have the big night, 2 home runs a few nights ago, and said that he used the torpedo bat. And then, of course, the Reds lost the next 2 nights, 1-0, and he didn't do anything with it. And even the Milwaukee Brewers, who were belly aching about the Yankees, I get it. They hit 9 home runs, a franchise record, in a game against the Brewers. But let's be honest. They're called the Bronx Bombers for a reason. The Yankees have always hit home runs, and everybody wasn't using a torpedo bat. Aaron Judge had 4 home runs in that 3-game series, and guess what? Did not use a torpedo bat, is not using a torpedo bat, and is not going to change what he's been doing. Here's the other thing. Major League Baseball has already put out a statement. The bat is legal. It's about the person swinging the bat and about the pitcher pitching to the bat. It has nothing to do with the bat that makes you a hitter. So can we put it to rest? I want to put a torpedo through that. How about that?
Number 3.
Don't give the Los Angeles Dodgers the NL West crown just yet. At least that's what the San Diego Padres are saying. The Dodgers are off to an 8-0 start. The Padres are off to a 7-0 start. The first time in Padre history that they've started a season with 7 consecutive victories. And let's not forget, the Padres were a really good team last year. Should have beaten the Dodgers. Took a big 3-1 lead and then basically choked down the stretch. And the Dodgers not only won that series, wound up winning the World Series. I expect the Padres to be around all year. I think they have a really good team. Yesterday, Jackson Merrill, their rookie center fielder from a year ago who was outstanding, they signed him to a new contract for $135 million, making that commitment. We know about Machado. We know about Tatis. This is a really good team, explosive, fun to watch, and they're going to be in the race. So this will be fun to see the Dodgers and Padres duke it out all year. It'll be good for baseball. We don't want the Dodgers to not have a foe, not to have somebody that they have to worry about. That's what baseball's all about. You don't want divisions to be where teams are just running away with it and it's sealed up by June or whatnot. We have a long baseball season to go. And at least out of the gate, can you imagine the Dodgers saying they started 8-0, but only have a half-game lead in the division? That doesn't happen very often coming into Thursday.
Here comes the big interview. Listen and learn.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, now let's welcome in Michael Harris, the second center fielder for the Atlanta Braves. Thanks for joining the podcast.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Mike, baseball, as we know, is a marathon, not a sprint. You guys lose your first 6 games. What's the mindset of the team on just trying to figure out how to get this thing turned around and not to, feel sorry for yourself or get buried this early in the season?
Yeah, it's only been 6 games so far, and we faced a tough pitching coming out of spring training off the rip. So just knowing that we face probably the 2 top pitching staffs in baseball this early in the season on the road is going to be tough. I guess once we get back home and get the bats rolling a little bit, then I think we'll be fine. But just knowing that we faced them, and we had some opportunity that we still should have came through on, but just knowing it's early in the season, we still got 150-something more games left to play.
Team like the Braves have had a lot of success, you guys, over the last few years. You also have some injuries. Puna's out, Strider is out, a couple other guys. You'll get your full team back. Is that something that in the back of your mind, knowing you're not at full strength?
Yeah, we're excited to get some of those guys back during the season. We want to kind of figure it out before they get here, and so they can roll into some winning baseball and I guess mold in pretty normally. But yeah, we're happy to get those guys back. Two players that are, I guess, top of the league in their positions, and even getting Murphy back. He went down early in spring training, so seeing him doing his rehab starts, it'll be good to get him back too.
How about you at the plate? How are you feeling out the box? Just not in your stride yet, or you know what I mean, or you're a little off? What's happening for you?
For the most part, I feel pretty normal. Like I said, though, we're facing pretty tough pitching right off spring training. I guess you come from spring training and you're not even playing 9 innings, and then you're not facing the same pitcher maybe 2 times around, and now we're facing them at their best. So it's really just, I guess, just trusting what you can do, and the results kind of come around at some point.
Let's talk about the NL East. And man, a lot of good teams. The National League has a lot of good teams. But I think you guys still stack up. The Mets, you saw what they were able to do. Getting Juan Soto, what do you think that adds to their team? And then, of course, the Phillies in that division. That's a tough division. All 3 teams could make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good division. And with the Nationals kind of being a sleeper pick there, I kind of like their team and how they constructed it. So it's a pretty fun division. It'll be very competitive, and I think that's good for us to kind of get a feel for those games that can kind of feel like a playoff game atmosphere during the season. They obviously got the talent. They added the pieces, and we're just trying to stick with them and compete.
Our guest is Michael Harris, the second center fielder for the Atlanta Braves. The Dodgers, off to a great start. We know what they have. They're spending money like it's going out of style. When you see the offseason and what they're doing now, I mean, do you look at it and be like, wow? Is this over the top? Or you shake, tip your cap to them that they're going out and trying to get the best team they can put together?
Yeah, I think they're doing it the right way. They're going out and getting guys that are going to help them win, to continue to help them win. They just want it, so they want to keep winning. And I think they're just using their resources to their advantage, just paying guys and knowing they're going to get out of guys that they pay. So I think they're doing it the right way, and I guess everybody else has to catch up too.
I have to ask you about, of course, the torpedo bat, which is everybody's going crazy with in baseball after the Yankees hit all those home runs in that game. Set a franchise record, 9 home runs in the game against Milwaukee. Have you ever experimented with the bat? Anybody here use the bat in Atlanta?
No, I've never experimented with it. I just found out about it, I guess, the opening series. But I don't think any other team has. I think Drake Baldwin said he used it in fall league one time or whatever, but no, nobody else has really used it.
After seeing those home runs, are you intrigued at all? Do you know what I mean? And then Ellie De La Cruz the other day used it in Cincinnati. He had 2 home runs. Would you take some swings with it, or you're happy with what you've done and you don't want to mess with that?
I feel like it's, I guess, the same as a normal bat. We still got to find a way to hit the barrel. It's not like the barrel has a magnet to it or everything, but I guess it's still putting on good swings with a different bat. I feel like you can do the same thing with a normal bat we're doing.
And as you said, it's still about the player, not about the equipment.
Yeah. Because you can, I guess, they still have to swing the bat and make contact. It's not like they just put it in their hand and the bat swings. So I guess they're doing a good job of finding the barrel and getting runs out of it.
Last thing, just the National League and all the good teams. And Padres are good. Dodgers, I talked about the NL East. Also, you got Cincinnati. People are expecting big things with Terry Francona and guys getting older and better. Expect a dogfight.
Oh yeah, for sure. The NL is pretty competitive right now, and I honestly love it. We play a lot of those teams, but we play all the teams. But it's pretty competitive right now. We just want to go out there and compete against those teams.
All right, best of luck in the season. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
In case you missed Rob Parker on the MLB Network, here's his latest appearance on MLB Now.
The showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
Rob Parker is a regular on the showdown, but I think you're on short rest. We're bringing you back a little earlier this week. You're going to be okay, Rob? You can go do your full innings? You're going to be all right?
BK, I got 7 innings strong for you. Don't worry about it.
Let's go. What about the 8th and 9th? You need the 8th and 9th, too. Are you going short on me?
I'm going to go short. I can't do a complete game. No.
These days, 7 is enormous. Rob, Braves lose again last night. They're 0-6. Jurickson Profar fails a drug test. He's out. How cooked are the Braves?
They're not cooked. As you know, teams have bounced back from bad starts. We could go back to last year. I think it was the Astros that started 7-18, and they made the playoffs. A number of years back, I remember the Twins got off to a bad start, something like 9-20 or 9-18, and again, they wound up winning 96 games that year.
However, Rob, you're right. You're being very tempered on this. You're correct. However, the Phillies are in the division. The Mets are in the division. And then they're going to be battling a wild card that could be the Padres or Giants on the other side. There's a lot of good teams. Can they afford to drop this far back? I think I think that's the trouble. I think they're in a bit of trouble, that kind of trouble.
No, I get it, but I still think baseball, as you know, I know it's a cliche, BK. It's a marathon. And if you think the season is won in the first week or 10 days, come on, that's just not baseball. This is not the Detroit Tigers 35-5, and they played 500 the rest of the way. But you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, baseball, you'll have your streaks and you'll have your dead spots. I'm not going to bury the Braves. They have a really good team, and I think they'll be in the mix. The Mets haven't lit the NL East on fire. What are they, 2-3 to start? I mean, they're not out of the woods, not yet.
By the way, I love that Rob just drops in a 1984 reference in there. It's very Mad Dog of you. I appreciate that. The wire-to-wire Tigers. All right, Jackson Merrill gets a big contract extension. You did a drop-in, as it turns out, on Top 10 right now for our center fielder Top 10 with me. You missed the boat on him. I had him number 1. You had him number 9. That's a bad job by you.
Well, in this case, I think I told you my reasoning was that it was just a rookie 1 year, and I want a little more. I want more in the resume, and I don't blame the Padres for cashing him out. You know this, BK. It only costs you more money the longer you wait.
That's right.
And if you believe you got something special, pay the guy now, and you'll get him way cheaper than if you wait. So the Padres
Make him rich now. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm not saying he's a bad.
But you're not quite sold. No, I get it. But you weren't quite sold. I thought I saw like a special player, and not just the results, but we've been talking about with Alex Avila. D-Row was talking about it earlier. There is something very smooth and a good action and instincts on this kid all around that just, it says winner moving forward.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that, but I don't crown people after 1 or 2 years in baseball. we have seen people. Can I bring up an old name? And I'm not saying that he's Joe Charbonneau, but Joe Charbonneau was Rookie of the Year in the American League.
Joe Charbonneau. You're consistent. You pump the brakes. That's your expression. Pump the brakes on Ellie De La Cruz. Eventually, you're going to have to just not hit the brakes on him. But early on, you pump the brakes. All right, last thing. Padres, Dodgers still unbeaten. Where are you on the NL West?
I still like the Padres. I know the Dodgers look unbeatable. But last year,
did you pick the Padres at the start? Did you? No, last year, the Padres had them dead and somehow let them, live on and win a title. But did you pick the Padres at the start of this year?
I did. I picked the Padres to win. I have the Padres going to the World Series, in fact.
Okay. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. Like, Rob, in the playoffs, the Dodgers get knocked out in the first round. It's easy. It happens. But winning the West, see, I would say, as good as the Padres look right now, the Dodgers are a monster. I got to go Dodgers in the West. I disagree with you on that.
But BK, they haven't run away. If you start 7-0 and you haven't even separated yourself from the division, it tells you that you're in for a battle because you can't play 1,000 ball the rest of the way.
Yeah, the other guys can't do it either. Where's your math on this?
To be that close after a 7-0 start and you have a 1-game lead.
I don't think the Dodgers are so crazy deep. I don't think they're discouraged. Last year was the year to pick them off, and they won the title. They won a measly 98 games. This year it's going to be a bigger number. But I appreciate that. You go out on a limb. Again, you don't ground out weak to short. You take a big swing, and sometimes you're Joe DiMaggio, sometimes you're Joey Gallo. I get it.
And I'll give you one more. I know you got Ellie De La Cruz as your National League MVP. Yep. I know you were feeling good the night before when he had the home runs and the 4 for 5.
Torpedo.
And then yesterday, of course.
Okay. Yeah. And he made the last out. Does that make you feel better? All right. I'll let you get a win here or there. You get enough in your time. Rob, good stuff. We'll see you again.
When Rob was a newspaper columnist, he lived by this motto. If I'm writing, I'm ripping. Let's bring in a writer or broadcaster, old or new.
Now let's welcome in one of the best baseball writers out there, a friend of mine, Gordon Wittenmyer, who covers the Cincinnati Reds for the Cincinnati Enquirer, a place I worked back in the 90s. Gordon, welcome to the podcast. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, man. Good to see you.
Always, man. Always. We got to get you on the podcast. Cincinnati Reds coming into Thursday, 2-4, back-to-back 1-0 losses. And they have a game Thursday night in Milwaukee. Just give me a vibe for the Reds. What's going on? Because they had a big night a couple of nights ago, but now the bats are dead.
So the bats weren't necessarily alive the first series against the Giants either. That's going to be a storyline all season. They're not fully healthy. Their good hitting catcher, Tyler Stevenson's on the IL. They got the left fielder, Austin Hayes, a former All-Star. They were expecting something out of. He's still on the IL. Spencer Steers had a shoulder problem. I mean, you can make excuses, but this wasn't a great lineup last year. And we don't think it's going to be a great lineup when they're fully healthy. But the fact that they're not, man, they lose back-to-back 1-0 games to the Rangers at home. How do you lose 1-0 back-to-back at Great American Ballpark? Do you know
that's a hit park?
They're what, one out of every four fly balls goes out. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so that's never, in fact, it's never happened. They've never lost back-to-back 1-0 home games since they opened up at that park. So that's a concern, and it will be. What's not a concern, and what has shown early and is something to have a little faith in, is what you've seen from the starting pitchers. None more than Hunter Green. He goes out and he didn't have his best stuff. He got through 5 innings, gave up a couple runs in the opener. They had a lead into the 9th. They blew it. That's not on him. Then he's one of the victims of the 1-0 losses. So yesterday, he goes 7 innings, gives up 3 hits. 2 of them happen to come in the same inning, gives up the only run in the game in the 4th, retires the next 10, and they can't get a run to pull that one out. But if you're getting that kind of pitching from your ace, and they're getting good starting pitching behind him, and they've got more coming with Andrew Abbott expected off the IL pretty soon, then you're going to be in these games. Now Terry Francona, one of the best managers going, has got to figure out how to do something with that.
Let's get back to Hunter Green here. He had his 500th career strikeout, the fastest to 500 from any Cincinnati Reds pitcher. We know
this guy, a little bit of a low bar.
I know, because there's not a lot of great starting pitchers from the Cincinnati Reds in their history. It's kind of weird, considering that they've won a number of World Series. But we know Hunter Green has great stuff. It's about staying healthy. If you can get through a full season with him. Last year, he got back into the Cy Young Award winner Cy Young Award race, because he pitched well down the stretch.
Yeah. And then he got his elbow banged up. I mean, literally banged up. He banged it into something, bruised it. Wasn't sure it was right. Got a couple of opinions on it. Wound up missing like 6 weeks. But that was a big key for him, because he came back at the end of the season. He showed his teammates that he was there for him. He came back. That was big for him. It was big for them. The organization talks behind the scenes about how important that was in his development, because remember, he's still a real young pitcher, and he's done most of his development at the big league level. And the grind of the big leagues, the messiness of every day, and putting failure behind you and answering the bell the next time, all of that is what makes baseball what I think is the hardest game to succeed in. And for pitchers too, and pitchers of that talent level. But he's had to learn all this at the big league level. And so the fact they did that last year, the fact he's off to what I think is a good start this year, even if he hasn't gotten the results yet, this is a big year for him. And if he turns it into a big year, that's a huge year for the Cincinnati Reds. And to your point, the Cy Young race, he'll be in a lot of Cy Young races going forward if he just keeps up this mentality, this learning curve where he's at in his career right now.
All right, let's turn here. Our guest is Gordon Wittenmyer, the Cincinnati Reds beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer. I want to go to Elly De La Cruz, who, a lot of people are high on this year. Even Brian Kenny, my cohort at MLB Network, is picking Elly to win the National League MVP. That's how high he is on Elly De La Cruz. I'm like, wow. He had a big night using that torpedo bat, but what do you expect out of Elly De La Cruz on a daily basis?
Yeah, well, the whole key to him, we've seen this now for a year and a half plus. The talent is it's just off the charts. I mean, there's just really no comp for what he does in the game right now. It's funny because Shohei is the other guy that's not a comp for an entirely different reason. But I think these two guys are the two guys with no comps. And the thing about it is the strikeouts, right? He led the league in strikeouts last year, and it was 4th all time in the number of strikeouts.
Wow.
His success growth will be entirely in direct proportion to how those strikeouts come down. If they come down 1%, he's going to get 1% better at everything else he does. And that's a lot, by the way, because he already does things so well. If he can bring it down 5% and gets 5% better, then we are talking about MVPs. So that's what has to happen. You got to watch for that. I mean, he had that big 4 4-hit game with the double and 2 homers the other night with the torpedo bat, and then he used the torpedo bat and didn't really do all that well the next 2 games, and he they lost 1-0. He was in the lineup both times, so a lot of strikeouts too. So it's just going to be, if he stays healthy and he cuts those strikeouts down a little bit, and he's done a few things to adjust to maybe do that. And we'll see if your boy Kenny's right.
All right, one last thing here. Terry Francona, of course, who had retired from Cleveland. Does he seem, energized, re-energized, up to the task for this, coming back as manager of the Reds?
Big time. I went down to his place and met with him for a couple hours in Tucson back in January. And he's got this chair in his living room that he calls his rocking chair. It's big. It looks like a lazy boy, right? Except I don't know that it has the thing that kicks up you can put your feet on or not. Right. But it rocks back and forth and it swivels. And man, the more he talked about the upcoming season and getting back in the game, the more that chair moved. And this is a guy who he's clearly recharged and clearly charged up to be back in the game, kind of like Bochy. He's younger than Bochy and probably doesn't move any better than Boch does, but same kind of thing, right? Was out of the game and just realized how much he needed to be back in the game. So he's revitalized right now. I don't see a drop-off in energy level from what we've seen all those years in Cleveland, for instance. I think if anybody's going to figure out how to get a little more out of that lineup and get a little more success, get a little more results out of this pitching they're getting, it'll be him.
All right. Gordon Wittenmyer, one of the best in the business, covering the Cincinnati Reds for the Cincinnati Enquirer. We'll see you on the road, of course, somewhere down the line, my friend. Take care, and thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. Good to see you.
Now, here's the best from MLBBro.com.
At 6'7", James Wood looks like he could play in the paint, but he learned a long time ago that he can make more money on a baseball field.
MLBBro.com is live at the ballpark on tape. Listen up.
Even before we talk baseball, this is March. I know you were one of the elite high school basketball players in a great area of the country. So do you ever look over to the TV screen and wonder what may have been?
I mean, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I think I could be out there if I really wanted to, but I'm okay with where I'm at. So it's usually a quick thought.
Yeah, I think that the choice you made worked out pretty well for you. But I remember a story, if you could share, how you played against Dickinson.
Yeah, Hunter. He's with Kansas now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was coming in off the bench, and I came in 2 real quick fouls, and I got subbed right out. So that's really the end of that story.
So was that the moment that you knew that baseball was for you?
I mean, I knew long before that, but that just made it that much easier for me.
So you've already gone through playing the opening game here last year, but what was it like, walking down the left field line to shake your teammates' hand on opening day?
Yeah, I mean, it was special. I mean, I feel that's what it's all about. And I mean, it was cool. Like you said, it was my first one, and I mean, it was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So.
Talk to me, they say after you get enough reps and enough plate appearances, the game slows down. Has it slowed down at all for you yet?
I mean, a little bit. I think for me, it was just kind of the outside noise that I had to turn down a little bit. But I think I'm somewhat settled in, and I'm just ready to go this year.
Was that the biggest growth that you had to adjust to, was the outside noise when you came up to the show?
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest jump for a reason.
Thanks to James Wood, and we'll be keeping an eye out on him as one of the bros to watch all season long. Live at the ballpark on tape, I'm Mark Gray for MLBBro.com.
MLBBro.com is live at the ballpark on tape. Listen up. For more, right now, go to MLBBro.com.
And what's that?
That ball is.
It was a big week in the big leagues.
Who's up? Who's up?
I don't believe it! My, oh my!
Is it foul or is it fair? And now, from MLBBro.com, here's J.R. Gamble.
JR, the Red Sox wasted no time locking up rookie second baseman Christian Campbell to an 8-year, $60 million contract. Is it foul or fair to both sides?
Fair. The Red Sox will be forever cursed, letting Mookie Betts go over supposed money. With Christian Campbell showing the potential to be the most talented player that the franchise has seen since Mookie Betts and smoking the ball early in the season, the Red Sox want to pay him early rather than later. And why not? If Campbell, who like Betts, is from Tennessee, has all of the tools, offensively and defensively, that he appears to have early in his career, then in 3 years, his salary, which doesn't even clear $8 million per, will be a bargain. And the Red Sox will definitely have to negotiate. For now, Campbell took a similar deal to the one Ke'Bryan Hayes signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2022. An 8-year contract worth $70 million, giving the second-generation third baseman the richest contract in club history. But that's not even $10 million per for a supposed franchise player. Money Mike Harris of the Atlanta Braves signed an 8-year, $72 million deal a while back. So a baseball career can be over in one bad season. So to take those early deals with less money, that works because you're still getting generational wealth. The fact that these bros are getting paid is a great thing and guarantees melanated representation in these lineups and across the league. So for sure, fair. Fair for Christian Campbell, fair for the Red Sox.
Make way for weekend wagers.
Yo, it's Sean Bo. Fire up those bed naps. Let's go. Week 1 was a little up, a little down. The down we lost on Friday, but the up was we won easily on Saturday. So let's keep that up in week 2. Let's get week 2 started off with a couple of picks hotter than Rob's takes. Go ahead and take the Detroit Tigers for that matinee game on Friday. They take on the White Sox, and with Blackjack Flaherty on the mound, you know that is money. Saturday's game, we're going to stick to the hotness. Go ahead and take the Los Angeles Dodgers, -1.5 against the Phillies. You know how hot the Dodgers have been. The Phillies have been a little up, a little down, still trying to find their path. And you know that our path is straight to the green. Stick and stay inside the Parker.
Hi, I'm Rob Parker, the founder and editor of MLBBro.com, where we cover black and brown major leaguers. 75% of the content will be about the current black and brown stars in Major League Baseball. The other 25% will take a look back at some of the great black players. On the site, there'll be a ton of great written stories and videos and features.
MLB Bro, because you need to know.
MLB fans, when it comes to Major League Baseball, no one covers it better than the Odd Couple.
Fact. I am the baseball king.
First, second, third, and home.
We're leading shows with baseball. Game over.
They don't watch it.
They don't know the game.
All in one place.
Let's go!
Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love baseball.
In the words of New York TV legend, the late Bill Jorgensen, thanking you for your time this time until next time. Rob Parker, out.
He can't get it. This could be an inside to Parker.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.